Givex here. Today I want to do a lineup review, kind of like, I guess we haven't had Part 4 of Most Feared, but I kind of want to go through the best player at every position with that, and why am I playing these players, and why are they the best, I just want to say, if you want to see any gameplay or reviews on these cards, I want to check out my second channel, linked in the description. Oh wow, my green screen's way off. But basically, I'm going through, ineligible, that wasn't good. Copyright music accidentally. But, gameplay, review, gameplay, got gameplay at Albert Hainsworth even. That's some house rules, review, podcast. So, we got the second channel going. We're putting out a lot of content over the last few days. Obviously, over the last few months there too. So if you want to see any of the gameplay of these, just check them out on that channel. But I want to go through and give my thoughts on each of the card, and why they're the best, and what is the best if I don't have the best, and I have most of the best. But let's take a look at a word from our sponsor first. Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden 21 coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 15% off. Alright, so let's get into it. Let's start with the quarterback position. Why do I feel Daunte Culpepper is the best quarterback in game? What matters in Madden? Speed, throw for quarterback. Throw power. Accuracies don't really matter this year. You guys see Trace McSorley throwing dimes out there, and he's got 50, 60 in the accuracy. Throw under pressure is okay. He doesn't get escape artist, but gunslinger or set feet lead. I like gunslinger a little bit better than set feet lead because it's cheaper on the strong arm quarterbacks, and it's got a faster throw motion, as we saw in my video when I did that. So Culpepper, he's only got 1 AP, and he's essentially like endgame throw power with 98 throw power, speed at 88. If you do want to do that QB draw shenanigans, maybe it's not as good as Michael Vick, but it is pretty solid. It's pretty high up there. If you scramble out there, he can get you a lot of yards too after line of scrimmage. So overall, he kind of has everything I want. Now the only thing he doesn't have, and why maybe he would be, maybe there could be a better replacement, somebody else, would be the guy I haven't quite sold off yet, and I still don't know if I'm going to sell off my squad. I kind of want to, because I think it's fun to do squad builders and, shopping sprees. But Joe Montana is the other guy that's kind of like in comparison, in competition with him, because he has Hot Route Master, right? Michael Vick is right there too. Favre is got the gunslinger and a slightly faster throw motion, but Favre is slower. So I'm borderline between Favre and Culpepper right now, who I like, because Favre has that Aaron Rodgers throw animation, and Vic's got the escape artist if I do like to scramble. I don't really scramble. I've never really scrambled a ton with my quarterbacks, so I'm glad that we can move over to more pocket passers, and they're actually good this year, which is just mind-blowing Madden that pocket passers are good, and I'm here for it. I love that pocket passes are relevant this year. So anyways, Joe Montana, the argument for him, he has less speed, less throw power, and he has to use set feet lead, which is one more of the gunslinger, but he gets Hot Route Master, which would take away basically 2, 3, 4, 5, then he costs 2. So I'm basically freeing up 3 ability points for my offense by going over to Joe Montana, but then maybe 2 ability points, because set feet lead is 2 versus 1. So I would say, 2 ability points going for Joe Montana, and I'd also get Metcalf and McLaurin that have High Route Master stuff too. So it's a hard trade-off, and I like that. I like trades. I like decisions that had to be made for pros and cons. I think that's the greatest thing about roster building, versus just get the best and then set it there, and there's no real thought to it. I love that there's equally powerful cards in this game that we have to decide upon which to use. So I think Culpepper's the best right now after using them. It's nice. Maybe Favre has a slightly quicker motion, but I do like the extra speed out of Culpepper. Let's move over. We could take a look at the other quarterbacks if you want. I'm over here on Mutthead at the moment, position quarterback, but I kind of went through the top quarterbacks in the game. Russell Wilson is an escape artist kind of quarterback with improviser. I don't really notice anything better out of him than out of Michael Vick. I like Vick's throw power better, speed better. So those are kind of like the biggest competition. Stafford's there for a strong arm quarterback because he gets gunslinger too, but I just think the #1 is Culpepper. All right, so halfback. Why am I using Saquon? Well, he is the newest halfback in the game, and he is pretty nasty, right? You can look at Barry Sanders, Edgerrin James, Tomlinson, Jim Brown. I've used all these cards. Reggie Bush I love too, and you can make the argument Reggie Bush is the best back in the game because one, he gets 49ers theme team chems, and that's kind of nice for all the 49ers because a lot of people like myself are running 49ers 25 to 50 because it's the best. But why Saquon? 92 speed. That's it. Palm up for 93 speed. right? The biggest difference. Bo Jackson's there. Bo Jackson's nasty. I don't know. I feel like Saquon runs a little bit better than Bo for me. Bo's nice, but wait, that's Bo's limited. So he doesn't get powered up to 93. So Saquon's far faster. But like, I don't know. Saquon runs tough for me. He's also heavy at 233, so he does fall forward. Like Jim Brown himself, the consummate like big fall forward kind of guy, 232. Saquon's as heavy as Jim Brown, Bo Jackson, 227. So Saquon's also thick in this game. Even though his model doesn't look thick, he's thick. So it does add something. Running back weight definitely matters in this game. I don't care what you have to say. Like Idrin James is slower, but not much, and lighter. So Saquon's just run the best for me. Now the only downside to Saquon is in comparison to somebody like Bush is because Saquon, his running back master, backfield master, which would give some extra route runnings, those routes to beat man coverage, right? The only way you're able to beat man coverage a lot of times is with running back routes and tight end routes. So you do want those special routes, those angle routes or flat routes, stuff like that to get out away from man coverage. And it costs 2 on his elusive back archetype, which is why Reggie Bush, not only the 49er chem, but because he has the receiving back archetype, Mostert's in here really fast too. And you got to kind of give Mostert credit here because he's 96 speed, and that's kind of nasty also. Actually, same speed as Saquon and a whole lot lighter. So he's like a budget Saquon because he's that fast. I like this Mostert card. He played really well for me. He's got the +3 because he's a 49er chem too. So that's the downside of Saquon over Bush. And I can see the argument for going for Bush over him. Barry goes on every theme team, so a lot of people are saying him too. And yeah, Barry's great. I've noticed Barry fumbles a little bit more. He's cost me a couple games due to fumble. Saquon's also a little faster now. And I don't know. Barry's still, like, all the running backs are pretty nasty, but Saquon's the best in my opinion. All right. Fullback, I have Jim Brown at fullback. I don't know why I don't have a fullback spot on this year like they did last year. They got to really change that. But why is he the best? Well, kick returns, right? He's still fast. He can fall forward. He's the same weight as Saquon. You can put armbar on him. Armbar is actually pretty nice, right? If you guys haven't tried armbar, I definitely recommend trying it. Trying like a Jim Brown type and like just try armbar. It got buffed, and I'm surprised I don't see more people using it because it's one of the better ball carriers. It's way better than trucking in my opinion. So try it out with armbar, the stiff arm. But otherwise, Jim Brown blocks as well as my other fullbacks, right? I feel like offensive lineman stats, it's like throw accuracy on quarterbacks. They're all made up, and it doesn't matter. And it's frustrating. Let's move on to the offensive lineman while I'm on that tangent. Now, the only like non-best players in the game there, and at fullback, maybe are you Jim Brown? I don't know. If you believe in lead block, I just need a guy to get to the edge and seal the edge. And I like the speed getting there. You could argue Lane Johnson might be the number 2 right tackle, but I like him because, when you throw a pick, you need a tackle to chase down that guy. You don't want to give up pick sixes. Those are the worst. Make them earn, right? Pay bend, don't break defense, stop him at the goal line. So Lane Johnson's cool for that. So I actually prefer him as the right tackle. So like that, I can see the argument that he isn't number 1 over. Let me filter out right tackles. Who would be the number 1? Ramczyk, Phil Lodeholt. Yeah, Lodeholt's not even close. I use Lodeholt. I didn't like him. Ramczyk would be the only one that you could get an argument with. Ramczyk's speed at 61. So he ain't catching no dudes, whereas I got 75 speed on my lane. So the argument for Ramczyk, I could see it, but I don't like it. All right. The other one is left tackle. But I've seriously been using this 49ers Trent Williams left tackle, and I've had no problems. Even when I had like better left tackles, Tunsil Thomas. I don't think I used Pace. I may not have used I don't know why the 50 had 2 left tackles. That just makes no sense to me. But I don't see any difference to them. My offensive linemen, I haven't seen anything. Anybody knows who's seen me do evaluations on offensive linemen have known these guys don't matter. And the only reason I have Hannah is because I pulled them out of a pack. I pulled Will Shields out of a pack. Kevin White, I had him because I did the Seahawks theme team for a little bit, so I had to power him up. But he was my one for a little while. Larry Allen's there. He was my right guard until I pulled Will Shields because he has 49er chem. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll go back to Allen and sell Will Shields or sell everything. So offensive linemen are the least important part. It's always the last thing I recommend you upgrade on your squad. Darren Waller is the best tight end in the game because tight end apprentice and speed, baby. Speed is what I need. Let's filter the tight end. Well, I guess you guys can look at his stats too on the squad. 90 speed on him. He is Raiders chem, so obviously like people, Raiders, Baltimore theme team is going to be a little faster, but 90 medium route running stock. Now, you can obviously go with guys without 90 medium route running stock if you can get them up to 90, because the 90 medium route running is a threshold for deep crossers to make it go and separate in man coverage. Like what I said earlier about halfbacks and tight ends needing to be guys that oftentimes get you completions against man coverage, because sometimes it's going to be really tight against wide receivers. If you can't get them open, tight end corners. And so medium route running makes the crosser, you'll notice it goes deeper in guys with 90 versus 89, and it gives them a little bit of a speed boost. So Waller, tight end, speed like almost a wide receiver, and medium route running, which will get you separation on the important routes that you need to run. He's also 6'6", and I like height, right? I like, if it all comes down to it, give me a guy that I can just maybe throw it up to and potentially swerve. Here's the thing. I tried matchup nightmare on him for a long time, but every time I had matchup nightmare on my squad, I played against a guy in like a cover 3 scheme, because I'm trying to use it against man coverage. And then I take it off, and now I face a bunch more man coverage guys, and then I put it back on. I'm like, all right, let's do it against a man coverage guy. And I got nothing but cover 3 guys for a while, so I have it just tight end apprentice on him right now for his extra routes, but he is by far the best one in the game, in my opinion. I see people arguing Vernon Davis because of speed. Vernon Davis is not it. I've already been a backup for 49ers Cam because I just never sold him. But he doesn't have the medium route running threshold. You can't get him up to it. Jimmy Graham, it's a little slower than you like to see. Waller's what I talked about. Tony Gonzalez was really nice for me. Maybe I wouldn't even put him close to Waller with the -3 speed, but he's still really nice. And once you get him to that 90 medium route running, he'll get separation for you. Shannon Sharp, similar. I like Shannon Sharp quite a bit. Not as tall as Waller, and one speed slower. So there you go. You also need to do play fake to get that medium route running. I think West Coast gets it up too. Jared Cook's close to. But like I said, all these guys are kind of coming up a little short, and it just seems like Waller's number one without a doubt in my mind. All right, wide receivers. You know how I like my wide receivers. Like I like my cars and my women, aka wife. Fast! Okay, so rating. Let me sort them by speed, so that way you guys can see this. My receivers right now, McLaurin, Metcalf. I thought about going with Lockett instead of Metcalf. I'm unsure between those two right now. The Seahawks, and then Julio. I think McLaurin and Julio are the best 2 in the game at the moment. If you're sorting by speed, McLaurin, Lockett, Metcalf. And then Chase Claypool's here too. Chase Claypool's my number, I guess he's not on my depth chart right now, but I was using him quite a bit. I went with DK and Lockett because I powered them up so I can get them +1 speed on them. And they were on my Seahawks theme team for a while. I decided to go away from it because I got kind of annoyed with all the roster maneuvering around. Henry Ruggs is pretty close to it. The only issue with Henry Ruggs, Henry Ruggs is like a freaking beast in this game, is the deep route running doesn't hit 90 on him, even with the go deep. And I really want my guys to be able to beat, like if I need a one-play beater, right? If I call a Z route, if I call a post pattern, I want them to beat man coverage. Obviously, it won't beat man coverage. I have 1 step ahead, but we can run other routes if that happens and take advantage of them otherwise. So that's why these guys are my top receivers right now in the game. And then I have Julio Jones here, who is not Chase Claypool, but he has the same speed as Chase Claypool because he is powered up to that, and Chase Claypool doesn't have a power up. So Julio Jones and all these 91 overall speed cards, 91 cards, are very similar. Julio Jones is also really nice because he is a route running archetype. So unlike the other guys that are slightly faster, route running archetype does have the ability to get slot apprentice, which is super nice. To get you those sweet routes to beat it. And his other stats aren't too shabby either. Not as good as, McLaurin I think is by far and away the best receiver in the game because he has all the 90 route running thresholds on his card, plus he is the fastest receiver in the game right there. So that's kind of how I have it. Like, I think the difference between Julio Jones and say like somebody like Calvin Ridley is super small, right? It's a couple inches, maybe a couple other stat points. But, like, it's super small between all these receivers that have 91 speed. Diggs is amazing, too. I sold him off. It looks like he dropped the price since I sold him, since they announced Series 3. So that was a good time to sell. But, yeah, I think Julio, kind of a beast. I like it. And this guy, he's just did nothing but prove me correct. Check out my latest gameplay with Julio on the second channel. I was getting like, I don't know what I was doing against man coverage, but then I sold him off. Or then I started throwing it only to him, and he was great. So this video is going a long time. I'll still keep going through it on defense. Sorry that's such a length at the moment, but we're going into the 20-minute mark here, I'm guessing, with defense. Linebackers. Now, you've often heard me say, and I'll keep repeating it, if you have linebackers, non-pass rushers, if you have linebackers on your field, you're doing something wrong, right? You cannot go into 3-4 and expect to stop the run consistently. It's sad. You can't load the box up like real NFL does and expect these players to do their job stopping stretch. Now, there are ways of doing it, 3-4 bear. There are definitely obviously ways of stopping stretch out of that stuff. But there are also ways of stopping it on a nickel and oftentimes more effective ways between shooting gaps, between 3-5 wide, and other shenanigans. So with that, with linebackers not being able to jump this year, with them being slower than safeties, with safeties, I've seen Isaiah Simmons shed my guard like it's like a paper that he just ripped in half and he went, ha ha ha, nice guard, throw it out of the way, then rip my shit up just like the paper. Then I don't believe in linebackers, right? This is like not believing in a fairy. I hope I kill it, right? I don't believe in you. I'm not going to clap, not going to bring you back, okay? I don't believe in linebackers this year in the field in Madden 21. They don't jump. They play pass coverage. You know, they're okay as long as you don't expect them to jump, right? They still move on the field with guys with the stats. Like Sam Mills still has speed, right? He's still there on the field. So it's not like they're not just going to do any jobs, right? 93 speed is still 93 speed. He's just not going to be as effective as somebody with lurker built in. Right, look at all these stats on his card. 90 hit power, which doesn't really matter. Zone coverage 94, play rec 99, tackle 99, speed 93. Like, that'd be cool if that mattered more, right? If play rec actually mattered in this game, that'd be kind of cool, right? Sadly, they made this game dumb for the defense and pursuit dumb, and I don't know. It's frustrating seeing, like, even on, like, the blitz. I've seen Isaiah Simmons with a 60 finesse move. Insta swim move my left guard with 90 pass block finesse. So, yeah, it's just, there's no reason to have linebackers. So, the only thing I could consider linebackers as are pass rushers. Those are the only linebackers I care about. All these other guys look cool. Shaz was a legend a couple years ago. Phenomenal when he was Muttmaster. Best card in the game by far, but it's not your year. You're out of the meta. So, cards shift from meta year to year. Mac, Thomas, Lawrence Taylor, Ricky Jackson, all great pass rushers. I think I don't even know who I'd say is the best pass rusher. They're pretty similar. Let's compare all of the players on the edge positions, left end, right end, all that good stuff. Compare them by pass rush or power moves, finesse moves, and so on. Sort by power move descending. All right, Deacon Jones. I thought Deacon Jones was okay. I liked them. We got Mac, Donald, Jackson. The reason I like these guys better, I just got Donald. 92 block shed, 92 power move, 90 finesse move. So Donald he's a trait god too. So Donald has great block shed, great power move, great finesse move, like across the board stud. Deacon Jones, lower block shed, better power move, worse finesse move. Yeah, I really don't see a huge difference between these two, between Deacon and Donald. So if you have Deacon at right end, you're not doing anything really wrong, right? Although Donald gets powered up +1, so he gets +1s everywhere, whereas Deacon's already powered up. Khalil Mack here, 84 speed, very nice. Ricky Jackson, 87 speed, so he's top end of the speed. He's got good block shed and power move. Finesse move solid. Cameron Jordan, 74 speeds, a little bit on the slow side, but still a nice card. Reggie White, I think, played okay for me too when I had him on the field. A little slower. Myles Garrett was a beast. But yeah, so now we're getting to like Derek Thomas here with 88 speed. So, like, you know how much I love speed. And once we got all of our stats nearing 90, they're all kind of similar there. Obviously, you can boost them up with chemistries, but they're pretty similar, right? So, what do you want in your field once you have all the other stats similar between power move, finesse move, block shed, kind of in the same place? Maybe get some +1s here or there, depending on... You want speeds, right? So, you got somebody like Robert Mathis. If we'll take a look at this card. What's the speed on my left end? I could put a 90 speed defensive tackle on the field. If I need to stop a guy scrambling, I just put this guy in a spy. Right? That's glorious. Curse is basically a copy and paste. You could use Divine Curse here too. I just have Mathis because he's the new one. So you can sub him in at defensive tackle. So I can have Donald, Mathis at D tackle, or I could get Curse instead of Donald, but I'm going with Donald. I kind of like Donald. I don't know. He doesn't really play that well. Mathis is playing whatever too. Like, all these guys play whatever. They get some decent sheds, but like, it's nice to have the speed on there to chase down dudes. And I don't know. I don't really see a huge difference between pass rushers this year unless they have abilities. So that's why I went with a major speed kind of lineup here. I think Ricky Jackson. I like Khalil Mack because he's a newer card, but I think I use Ricky Jackson on the field. Ricky Jackson, Derek Thomas, Donald, and Mathis on my front four in the D line and my nickel. I'm back into big nickel now. As for DBs, all right, Devin McCourty. You're wondering like, oh, Devin McCourty, he sucks. He's got low hit power, right? Well, the sad thing is fumbles come from anywhere now. 71 hit power is good enough. That will cause fumbles as much as 90 hit power. I've seen 60 hit power cause fumbles, right? Dre Bly smacks the shit out of me. And I don't know why they just don't bounce off running backs and they still get great animations, but they do, and it's sad. So I don't even look at hit power. Outside of hit power, that card is cracked, right? Because hit power factors into so much for the overall for these positions. I guess I can go back and look that he was able to get all the other attributes since they took away hit power. 94 speed, which is on top end for DBs. 99 zone, 95 man. Obviously, that's all boosted with my lockdown coverages. Play rec, not that that matters, but overall, Devin McCourty, not bad. Now, he's not the tallest guy on the field. I'm using Minka here, too, because I like Steelers. Same with Polamalu. You could argue, but the thing is, like, you could argue, like, Adams is better, but just wait a second. I got Adams. Taylor Mays, I think, is the best safety in the game right now. Him and Simmons is I like having Taylor Mays out there because, like, they made him super smart for some reason with 93 zone. Taylor Mays, they did wrong. They should have made him a physical beast, but an idiot on the field with low play rec pursuit zone coverage. But EA lost the entire focus of how stats is supposed to work in Madden Ultimate Team and Madden itself. But that's another complaint for another day. This card plays phenomenal. 6'3", great user, great on his own. Isaiah Simmons, I got back there too. Polamalu, I don't know what's up with this card, right? There is nobody who makes more plays on my defense than Polamalu. This guy in like 3 games, like had a couple forced fumbles, right? I don't know, like he does have 90 hit power, which is great, but like this card just makes plays. User picks in zone, forced fumbles. Obviously, he can still get shredded in man coverage. I put one step ahead on him though. One step ahead, it works okay, I guess, against tight ends. I still saw them throw some routes against them that beat his one step ahead, so that was a little frustrating. Tight end corner route still will expose the one step ahead. Maybe I need to shade out or something. But I'm trying that currently. I don't have a huge sample size with this one step ahead, as I've only played probably about 5 games with it. Maybe 6 to 10 now that I think about it, because I got some quits in there. But I got Deion Sanders and DRC on the outside because they're the fastest. Jair, same thing. I'm debating between Jair and Denzel Ward there. Byron Jones just kind of there. There's no real reason to have Byron Jones. He doesn't really see my field. I'm kind of debating on my DBs about who the best ones on the field is. There's no longer like one that like stands out speed-wise. If we sort by speed, let's show the speed and filter. Deion Sanders, Jair. Bunting is a really great card. The only downside is like his zone coverage is low. Man coverage is fine. You can boost that up, obviously. Snead's a great card, too. Right? Like, if you're getting into corners, don't buy one of these guys, right? Don't buy these guys. Buy this guy and this guy. These 2 guys should be on every single team that can afford them, right? These guys should be your almost your first top-end card purchases for your team. Maybe you could say receivers, too. That should be it. But otherwise, looking at speed, a lot of 91s, Cromartie, William Jackson. I guess not a lot, actually, only 2. A lot of 90s is where we're starting to see. So some decent, budget cards in here in the 90s. Also, 23K for this AJ Terrell is phenomenal. But yeah, Deion Sanders, Jair powered up. Do I have him powered up? Yes, I think I have him powered up. And then DRC number 3. So obviously 92. Plus he's got, 91 man zone, 89 zone, 91 press. And then Jair. Yeah, you could argue his zone's a little low, but his man's there. So those are my 3 guys. Ward, he's basically very similar to Jair. Jair's just newer. So maybe I could sell off my Ward card. And I really run nickel most of the time. I sprinkle in a little bit of the rest. But yeah, I guess Byron Jones is 90 speed, so he's 1 less speed than, say, Cromartie. Maybe I should get Snead instead of Byron now, but I've had Byron for a while powered up. So he's only 1 speed slower than Murphy, Bunting, and Snead because they don't have power up. So actually, Snead's got a power up. Never mind. Snead would be better then. So there you go. Best team. Those are my reasons for having them. Special teams. Oh, I got a punter here just because I haven't bought one. I auto-filled this lineup, a week ago, and then I've just working at it since. Morton Anderson, of course, for the kicker spot. I got Lockett at return because why the hell not? People only kicked my fullback anyway, which is Jim Brown. And slot wide receiver Julio. Simmons and Adams here at the sub linebackers. My users. Strat, I'm in Panthers and Dolphins right now. I changed my playbooks. And there it is. That's the lineup update. Those are the best cards in Madden. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you.